Been a terrible vlogger today. I just finished editing yesterday's video and I am just starting to film for today, and it's past 9 o'clock. It's 9:45. I did a lot today. So today was a pretty slow day. We rehearsed the show a little bit and we were doing all orientation stuff. But I'm actually going to check my mail because I ordered a case. Well, not a case, but kind of like a protective hard plastic shell cover thing for my Mac. And Amazon said it was delivered, so I'm going to see if I could go pick it up. So the office was closed, and this is out of focus because I can see it in the mirror. The post office was closed. Pick it up tomorrow. But I'm an idiot and forgot my stupid orientation tag thing. So I had to come all the way back here to get it. So now I'm going to see a comedian. So it's gonna be fun.
Like I feel like, here we go. You're gonna show me how to twerk. They said it would only cost me my dignity.
No one loser. She had good brains, ain't even had to school her. Need me a tutor, I just wanna do her. Pass through the ink and let my bro screw her. I'm killer and I be that way. I got a large appetite for some pussy. I said my money is green and my thun blue. And if I pop that bitch, she gon' pop one too. Okay, she poppin' too, now she geek like me. I said we jerking and we stoppin' fucking catch the beat. We can't catch the beat, but I'm feeling my dance. I had one pill left in the fell of my hand. Damn.
Don't drop that dun da da. Hey. Don't drop that dun da da. Don't drop that dun da da. Hey. Don't drop that dun da da. 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 Hey. Don't drop that dun da da. Don't drop that dun da da. Don't drop that dun da da. Hey. All right. I got a bottle. You got a cut. You hit the Dougie. I do step. You're not with it.
Okay, so twerking is just moving your ass like really fast. How much farting do you do? Because I feel like I do a lot of farting. Did you do a lot of farting? Because I farted like crazy. You did zero farting. Well, then I did it wrong. Because I farted like crazy. I didn't go to my prom. That made up for it. But that was pretty good. I twerked on stage in front of 400 people going, what an asshole. Let me give a thought bubble to everybody out there. What an asshole. That was... Nobody else has a question involving me moving my ass in any way. Miley Cyrus invented that? Is that what happened? What happened? Miley Cyrus was like, she did some Molly, and then she said, my ass. No? Okay. That was awkward. All right, one other question. And if the question is, do I want to go into a hole right now and never come out? Yes, you don't need to ask. Yes, right over there. What's the question?
How do you come up with new material? How do you know if it's funny?
How do I come up with my material and how do I know it's funny? Well, I kind of knew ahead of time my ass moving like that would have been funny. That was the first time I ever twerked, but I was like, and I got such white guy ass, like my legs are just bolted into my sternum, you know what I mean? Like there's no anything there. Like I know a lot of the people are like, he's moving what ass? What is that? That does not, like, he looks like an action figure. He looks like he's a G.I. Joe. But you write the material like as it comes to you in life. You know, when my daughter's belly was hanging out, I laughed and I was like, oh, that'll be funny. I would say if you're in the middle of an argument with your wife, don't stop her to write something she said down. Like, oh no, that's good shit, let me write that down. You'll be in big trouble if you do that. And the only way you know if something's funny is if you bring it up on stage and work in a new piece. Like I tell you, I have a new piece that I don't know if it'll work at a college. It works at a club, but I don't know if it'll work in colleges because I'll try it right now. This new piece, if you don't laugh, it's okay, because I don't know if you guys understand like nihilism. Because what I say is I did have kids, and the hardest part about being a parent is you can't be a nihilist anymore. You know, you got to care about stuff. When I was your age, I was not only unconcerned with the end of the world, I was looking forward to it. You know, if you would have told me that a meteor was going to strike the Earth, I would have been like, you get the hookers, I'll get the blow. Let's make a long weekend out of it. This is going to be fun. But now all of a sudden I have kids and I find myself saying things like, we should recycle. Somebody has to live on this planet. We have to check the library circular for finger painting class. Like, it's a weird dichotomy from who I used to be. So that's a new bit that I wrote. I've tried it out on the clubs, and now you guys left, but here I think it's a problem sample because you're smart. I'm gonna go to like shithead state in the middle of who gives a crap. You know, they're gonna be like, what is nihilism? I don't like you. Twerk again. You know what I mean? Like, wouldn't it be funny if the next time I came back to Stevens, my entire act was like 45 minutes of me twerking, like, shouting out Star Wars planets in alphabetical order? Like, I kind of like the Star Wars part. I don't know about the rest. Somebody else, question. Yes, right there, and then we'll come over here. Yes. The best and worst thing that happened to me when we're now. Here's the thing. I write monologue jokes for Howard. Like, I am not actually in the studio. I don't think he'd ever want me to be near him. I have kids. I'm festering with germs. Honestly, I breathed a couple of times on you guys, go see a doctor, because my children are just disease carriers, right? But the best part is, and there's no worst part, the best part is hearing, because I've been a fan for 25 years, hearing one of my jokes that I wrote, because you never know which ones he's going to pick. When I hear one of my jokes make it during the news, I have to pull over, and it's sort of like Jerry Maguire. You know, you want to tell somebody, and you can't. You cry a little bit. Don't you judge me. Now I'm gonna twerk. I'm gonna just step out of my car, and people are gonna be like throwing bottles at me. But yeah, that's just the coolest thing. If you're a fan, just hearing him say words you wrote, among the coolest things that a human being can feel. I want to say holding my children for the first time was the best feeling, but that would be a lie. It was hearing my jokes on Howard Stern. It was like Stern 1, 2, and 3, and then holding my children 4 and 5. I mean, tough. All right, right over here, blonde guy. How old is my wife? She's 19. She's happy to be in this country. All right, that's all I'm gonna say. All right, I know it sounds weird, but once she learns the language, it'll be fun. No, she is 2 years younger than me, and she would be, is she single? After the twerking video, she might well be single. She might see that on YouTube going, this is the last straw. We are divorcing. But yeah, she's 2 years younger than me, and she will not be happy with me telling her age on the stage. 35. Here's, anybody else? Question? Right over here, and then we'll move back to you. Yes. The best and worst place I've done stand-up. I'll start with the best place. Now, there's a lot of answers that I could give the best place that are kind of douchey answers that's designed to get easy applause. And I don't do that, I don't insult your intelligence. So I'm going to give you the honest answer. The honest answer is the best place I have ever done stand-up comedy is right here at Stevens University in front of the class of 2017. But the second best place, when I did the tour, I did a tour for the troops in Germany, and I got to perform in a building, and as I walked into the building, there was a giant swastika on the building. Now I'm going to explain why that was great. Because I said to the guy who was my liaison, I said, well, that's interesting. Why is there a giant swastika on an American military base? And they said, because the swastika is illegal in Germany. And in the 1950s, the German government came to the general who was in charge of this base and asked us to knock down that wall because the swastika had been built into the wall. And the general said, no, because there's going to be at least one place in this country where people remember what you did. And I was like, holy shit, that is some Inglourious Bastard shit right there. I was like, oh my God. And then they took me down into the building, and my green room, you know, where like the food and everything was on the 3rd sub-basement. And it was like these kind of like catacombs that were built into the bottom of the building. And my liaison was like, come here. See this hallway right here? They did hand-to-hand bayonet combat, and the people came in here. Hand-to-hand bayonet combat. You're not allowed to take a picture. You're not allowed to take a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture. Take a picture. So I took a picture of where they did hand-to-hand combat. And then I went up into this theater and I got to perform in front of American troops, and I got to say some really dirty, disgusting things in front of American troops in a building that is the last swastika in Germany, where American troops 70 years ago fought hand-to-hand combat in the catacombs. And I'm not a super patriotic guy, I know this country has problems, but I felt like there was a little bubble of free speech and a little bubble of America right there on that base. And I thought about my grandfather's generation and it felt really cool. So, Stephen's number one, that would be number two. The worst place I ever performed was South Philadelphia. I started in South Philly, and I got a quick story to tell you about what a shithole South Philly is. The short of it is, I performed in Philadelphia is maligned around the country for being filled with kind of jerky people, and I would say that that is not unfair, because there's a lot of jerky people in Philadelphia. I got off the stage in South Philly, and I was walking back to my car, and there was a homeless guy that sort of like walked up in front of me. And I tried to do like the thing where you kind of go like around him, and he shuffled. So I went like, right? And he shuffled. I went, okay. And I went, is there a problem? And he goes, pooh, and he spits in my face like a like slider. And then he goes, I have AIDS, I have AIDS, I have AIDS. And then he runs off into the night. That's not the bad part. Here's the bad part. There was a cop across the street. And I went, hey, officer, that homeless guy just spit on me, screamed he has AIDS, and ran into the night. And the cop went, that's just Tony. And then he goes, he doesn't have AIDS, he just says that. Like it happens all, like they know him. They know the homeless spitting AIDS guy. And they were kind of mad at me for getting worked up about it. And that was the worst place I ever performed stand-up right there. Okay, two more questions and we'll get out of here. You had your hand up, we'll do you. What joke offended people the most? I'm not going to repeat it. Do you want to hear the joke the only joke that ever got me kicked off stage? Christy's still here. No, it's okay. All right, I'll tell you the joke. There's, hold on, I need a water for this. I was in South Carolina, and I was performing in front of rednecks. 400 rednecks. I mean, a lot of like, you know, like trucker caps, but like not ironic trucker caps. Like, I wear a trucker cap. I'm a trucker, I need a trucker cap for my trucker. Like that kind of crowd. So I was a young comedian doing a tour of the South, not knowing any better. And in my act at that time, I had a bit about t-shirts. I would say to people, listen, if you have a t-shirt with a word written on it or a symbol on it, that's fine. I'm okay with that. I just think I should get to call you on it. Like, you should know about that subject if you're going to wear the t-shirt. That's a social contract, right? Like, if you're wearing a Billy Joel concert t-shirt, I should get to ask you a Billy Joel trivia question. You should have to answer it. Like, oh, Billy Joel fan, huh? What was his first album? Cold Spring Harbor. Okay. If you're wearing a No Fear t-shirt, I should be allowed to grab you, put you in a cage with a polar bear. No fear, proof it, douchebag, let's go. And if you're wearing a Confederate flag t-shirt, I should get to shoot you. Now. At the time, that was an applause break joke. I would tell it at the Northeast and people would go, oh, that's hilarious. Are we out of bat? Oh no, we came back. They would applaud. They would go, that's hilarious. And I thought everybody would applaud. And all of a sudden, I said it and no one was applauding. And that's not where I got kicked off. It just got dead silent. And I stress, dead silent. When rednecks get offended, they chew. I don't know what they chew. If you've ever pissed off 400 rednecks, you'll hear a lot of this. And my head was like, what did I do? Oh, and then my brain was like, do you remember 8th grade history class? I do. This is where the Civil War started. They're very mad at you. Jay, say something to make it better. Now you have to understand something about me. I'm a very nice guy. My brain is a douchebag. And my brain, this is exactly what my brain gave me to make the situation better. I went, well, don't get mad at me. It's not my fault you assholes lost. And that is when I was asked to leave the stage. The manager came up and went, that's all, we're done. We're done, everybody, we're done. And they took me out the back and I got into my car and I drove away and I never looked back in South Carolina. So I'm still worried I might not be allowed in the state. I don't know, if you've driven by, if there's a picture of me like, that's why. So that's the most offended the audience has ever been at me. That joke right there. All right, one more question, yes, and then we'll get out of here. When did I lose my virginity? I think you can tell. What is your name, young man? Patrick, I think you can tell from the twerking. I have moobs. I said moobs. I know how to use them. I know what I'm doing. What would you think would be a good age? What's a good age to use? 11. Kristen, I think we should probably talk to him. I don't know what the problem is. But last week? Well, congratulations, man! Round of applause to you. I was 19. I was 31. I was 19 when I lost my virginity. To a cougar? No. We were both college sophomores, and we met, and we fell in love, as you tend to do, and we went to the most romantic place on earth, a Red Roof Inn on Route 1 near Trenton. It was $39.95. I don't cheap out. And that was 9 the most romantic seconds of that. 4 of the most romantic seconds. We made beautiful love, although it actually takes longer to say beautiful love than it lasted. We made beautiful, and then I apologized. Then we made beautiful again, and I apologized one more time. But I was 19, and but I would say all of you, wait till marriage. All right, listen, I overstayed my welcome. I want to leave you with just one last story. A lot of times I'm asked, how did I get started doing stand-up? And I think it's important to talk to incoming freshmen about this. And this will be the last thing I say, and then we can get out of here. I know you're tired, you had a long day. It's not a long story. It starts with the dinosaur. You guys know the dinosaur? Have you played with your dinosaur? You played with Rob? Yes, you played with your dinosaur? It's fun. It's fun. I found mine in the bathroom one day, and I just played with it. And girls, you have your dinosaurs too. They're smaller, just as fun. You can play with them if you wouldn't mind. Christy, if we have time, I'd like to share my dinosaur with all of you. I'd like to show you. Look, there's 2 of them. They're fighting. Now they're kissing. Too far. Now listen. I think the dinosaur is hilarious. I will do it all the time. I'll do it by myself on a plane to amuse myself. Which, by the way, if you do, no one will talk to you. Where are you from? And then no one says anything to you. Now, when I was a teacher, the dinosaur was what I used to do to make the kids be quiet. When I was a freshman teacher, I'd be like, you're making the dinosaur very angry. And the kids would be like, there's something wrong with him. He needs desperate help. Do not make any more noise. He might murder us. Now, every school has a hot sub. Every single school. Sometimes it's a boy sub, sometimes it's a girl sub. You know who your sub was. She was hot, he was hot. And here's my theory. This is theory number 1. If there is something you want, go for it. Because you never know how it's going to work. You never know what's going to happen. I saw this beautiful sub. It was a girl sub. They say she's out of your league. We weren't even playing the same sport. She was Major League Baseball. I was girls intramural cricket. Now, when I asked her out, because rule number 1 is you never know what's going to happen. I asked her out. She said yes. So I ran back to my freshman class. I said, hey kids, you know the hot sub? I have a date with her. Totally inappropriate. I should have not brought that up. I was a terrible teacher. I should have never been allowed tenure. Anyway, out of the back of the room, I'll never forget, this girl, Noelle, beautiful little freshman girl, goes like this. Mr. Black, when you're on your date, don't do the dinosaur. And I go, why? And she goes, because girls think the dinosaur is stupid. I look around the room and every girl is doing this. Good advice. So I take this beautiful woman out to a very expensive restaurant because she was beautiful, ugly Wendy's. But we went to a really nice restaurant. I would say the date was rolling at about a 5. It wasn't going great, it wasn't going poorly. But then midway through the date, Noelle's words come back to me. Master Plan, don't do the dinosaur. Except instead of sounding like good advice, it sounded like a challenge. Here's rule number 2. Be yourself. Don't lie to people. You get no advantage out of that. Don't lie, even on a first date. If you have 5 nipples, I'm not saying show up to the first date with your shirt off, but at some point find a way to say, hey, scale of 1 to 5, what do you feel about nipples? If you get a 3 or higher, you're in. 2 and below, just keep walking. You need to figure that out. Be honest. So I say to this very beautiful woman, hey, how would you like to see my dinosaur? I'll never forget what she said. She said, no. I went through the whole thing. I go, no, it's a lot of fun. You can play with it whenever you're bored. I found mine in the bathtub. You have one too. Go right ahead. Now, here's the thing about the dinosaur. Even if you think it's the stupidest thing in the world, you have to at least give a courtesy laugh. You have to at least go like, okay, ha. Because otherwise I can't stop. If you're just quiet, I can't stop. I can't just be like, Then I'd look stupid. Now, this is going to seem like an exaggeration, but I assure you, Stevens, it was not. 30 of the longest seconds of my life, she sat in dead silence, just staring, not unlike you're staring at me right now, young lady. 30 seconds. Now I'm getting increasingly more desperate for a laugh. I'm going, I put my finger in mashed potatoes. I said, dinosaur's getting hungry. The end of 30 seconds. I'll never forget what she said. She said this. I want you to know there's not going to be a second date. Now here's lesson number 3. Lesson number 1 is if you want something, go for it. Lesson number 2 is be honest. And lesson number 3 is that there's always a silver lining, because here's what happened. At the end of the night, I took this very beautiful woman back to her house, and because I had bought her an expensive dinner, she felt like she at least owed me a good night kiss. Now this is where having prison lips come in handy, because my lips bought me a second date, and now she's at home with my kids. Now, not my wife, just some girl I knocked up, but the point's the same. That is my wife. That is how I met my wife. She's still at home with my kids. She still thinks the dinosaur is the dumbest thing in the world. Best revenge, my son laughs like a crazy person. I do the he loves it. Now, why did I start doing stand-up? Because I met her guy friends. Beautiful people hang out with each other. And I would meet her guy friends, and they would intimidate the hell out of me. Because they'd all be good-looking people together. They'd all be like, have abs, like everywhere, like regular abs and chest abs and back abs and eye abs and teeth abs. They would be ridiculous. They'd all have intimidating nicknames, like, hi, I'm John, but everybody calls me Fire Hose. Like, how would you have that nickname? I'll show you later. That's okay, I don't need to know. So I was intimidated, and I used that to leapfrog into the one thing I always wanted to do. I wasn't good looking, I wasn't making a lot of money, but I thought I was funny. So to make this girl love me, I went and I did my first open mic at a comedy club a week after I met her. And now here we are, this is my job, she's my wife. So the point that I'm trying to make to you is you're freshmen and you're just starting this adventure. And I waited till I was 25 years old to do anything I wanted because I met this girl. You might not meet that girl. You might not meet that boy. If there's something you want to do it now. It starts now. You got 4 years. That's it. I'm going to tell you right now, it goes by in a blink. I sat in the basement of my dorm and I read science fiction for 4 years. That would have been my life had I not met this girl. Do the thing you want to do it now. Unless it's stab a hitchhiker to death. Don't do that. Don't be like, Jay's right, I should have been doing this all along. No. Go live your life, do something grand. Thank you for your time tonight. I appreciate it. Have a great year. Thank you, Stevens Institute. You guys are awesome. Thank you. Good night. Oh, and special thanks to Christy and my crew. Thank you, Stevens Institute. Good night. Go have a great year. Come on up.
I thought that guy was, he was kind of funny. He was all right. Yeah, you know. But I'm on my way to my room. Got to do some laundry. And then tomorrow I meet my peer mentor who I know already. So I'm interested to see how this is going to turn out. But you guys will see how it turns out. Just almost walked into something. So thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to click subscribe. Leave some comments. Follow me on Twitter. All that stuff. Thanks for watching.